Now, United States President Barack Obama has delivered his first commencement address since taking office, a speech to the graduating class of Arizona State University. VOA White House correspondent Paula Wolfson reports the president has a lot of advice for the class of 2009.
The president says the class of 2009 is leaving college at a time of economic uncertainty, but he urges these new graduates to seize the opportunity to make the world a better place.
I know starting your careers in troubled times is a challenge, but it is also a privilege, because it's moments like these that force us to try harder and dig deeper and to discover gifts we never knew we had, to find the greatness that lies within each of us.
In many ways, it was a classic commencement address. There were no new pronouncements of policy. Instead, there were words meant to inspire.
The leaders we revere, the businesses and institutions that last, they are not generally the result of a narrow pursuit of popularity or personal advancement, but of devotion to some bigger purpose.
President Obama told the graduating class at Arizona State that what drives them through life should not be money or fame, but a higher calling.
The elevation of appearance over substance, of celebrity over character, of short-term gains over lasting achievement is precisely what your generation needs to help end.
This was the first of 3 commencement addresses the president is scheduled to deliver this month, and Mr. Obama got a warm welcome in this university in the desert. The reception is likely to be far different on Sunday when he arrives at the University of Notre Dame in the Midwestern state of Indiana. Notre Dame has ties to the Roman Catholic Church, which has taken a strong anti-abortion stand, and protesters have vowed to make their presence known when the president, who supports abortion rights, arrives on campus. Paula Wolfson, VOA News, Washington.
And now Paula Wolfson joins us for more about Mr. Obama's appearance at Notre Dame. Welcome to the show once again,
Thank you,
Paula.
Vincent.
Now we know, if we pick up from where you left with your report there, that there were demonstrations against Mr. Obama, and the demonstrators said his visit to the university undermines the Catholic identity of the school. What is at issue here?
Well, the issue here is not Barack Obama as much as it is one of the most divisive social issues in the United States. It's been this way for a long time and will probably for a long time to come. That issue is abortion. Very high passions on all sides of the issue. As I mentioned in the piece, Notre Dame University has ties to the Catholic Church. It was founded, I believe, by Jesuit priests. And the Catholic Church has a strong anti-abortion stand. Anti-abortion activists on campus and in the larger community say the president, because of his support for abortion rights, should not have the privilege of speaking at the commencement of Notre Dame. So that these demonstrations that we're expecting, that have already taken place about the invitation, likely to take place during the commencement, all surround this one issue of abortion, a very inflammatory issue in America.
Now, we know that the fact that the university authorities did in fact invite the president.
Yes, and most of the students are thrilled that he's coming. They consider this a great honor. There's a small group of the larger group. You know, there's thousands and thousands of students graduating. There may be several hundred protesters from the university, maybe more coming in from outside the community. They see this as a flashpoint, as a location where they can make their views known, especially critical because we have a nomination pending coming up to the Supreme Court. Yes. And of course, the Supreme Court decides as the last voice when it comes to abortion policy. So, you know, they also want to have an impact on the deliberations on who gets that vacant Supreme Court seat.
Just briefly, really, what's the position of the president?
Well, you know, I like to compare it to what Bill Clinton said when he was president, because it's almost exactly the same thing, which is he wants to make abortion safe, legal, and rare. He doesn't want to take away a woman's right to choose. He says it should be between her, her doctor, and her conscience.
Now, how challenging is it for any president, in fact, to walk the fine line of separation of church and state, and at the same time?
Well, it's tricky here because, as we said, this is a church-supported university. So he's going to he is the state going to a church location. So it gets extremely tricky. And the White House has said, listen, this is America. This is a big country. There are diverse views. And in a way, we welcome this demonstration because we know that this shows the world, not just the Notre Dame community, but the world, that in America, people are free to speak out.
Did the president appear to be concerned about those demonstrations against him?
I don't think so, although, you know, he's so popular. This is the first time he's given a speech, I believe, where there has been the potential of these kinds of demonstrations. And it'll be interesting to see what happens inside the hall, the location where the actual speech is taking place. It may be, we're not sure, but it may be that most of the demonstrations take place on other parts of the campus or surrounding the campus. It's going to be most interesting to see if he is indeed heckled during the speech, or if the graduates and their families decide, well, we may not agree with him on every issue, but he is the president and warrants our respect on this occasion.
Now, we know that the president also will be going to the Naval Academy towards the...
not far from Washington.
That's right.
Yeah.
Any expectations? We know that in your piece you said he didn't say much of policy issues.
Right.
In this
Generally,
speech.
commencement addresses are saying to these young people as they're about to leave their university, go out to the world, prosper, do good things. They're meant to inspire. But the Naval Academy gives him the venue to do something else, to talk a little bit about military policy, defense policy, maybe even policy towards American military veterans. So the venue is a little different, and we'll see what happens. That's later this month.
Thank you. We will expect to see you back here to tell us more
Absolutely.
about that visit. Thank you very much, Paula. And that is Paula Wolfson, our White House correspondent.